All right, I think that we are live. Hello, everybody. I know we're going to have some people kind of filter in as we go, but we are, I think this is my very first ever live actual unboxing in a separate video on the channel. I don't know if we've ever done this before, which is really cool. So I'm very honored to have Dan Default with us, and he is, of course, from Wayne Manor North. And he is going to be unboxing his long-anticipated Batman Who Laughs. And this is not only the Batman Who Laughs, but it is the DX version. And so Dan and I were talking before the show. We don't think that there are any DX videos on YouTube at this point. Dan, have you seen any at all?
I have not, other than not with the DX, no. And only a few just even with the regular. So I don't think there's that many of them out there yet.
Yeah, not a ton. So it'll be real interesting to see if we start getting some more. But anyway, we do have some people starting to filter in. So, hey, guys, welcome to our unboxing. Dan is going to be unboxing the Batman Who Laughs, the DX today from Prime One Studio. Dan, when was this supposed to come to you?
This would have this was supposed to come about 6 weeks ago now. Well, I mean, and that's with the delay. So I started getting notices around in transit, preparing for shipment, that kind of thing, about 5 weeks ago, 5.5. It was in transit for 2 weeks, and Golden Week was one of those weeks. So I don't hold that too much against Prime One. But when they came back out of Golden Week vacation over there, it went from in transit to on hold, which was a new status I hadn't seen with Prime One before. And after checking with other collectors, I know Barb with Statue Mania ran into the same issue, same piece, everything. And it went to this on-hold status. And actually, George Raw ran into it, too, with a Superman piece that he had ordered. So that was a new thing. I think, COVID may play into it. But I think the shipping is kind of, it's been in a clearer state before for Prime One, put it that way.
Yeah, and so we were just talking before the show that literally you got this was in China 24 hours ago. This
piece was in, I think it's pronounced Shenzhen, China, 24 hours ago.
Which is insane.
And it's coming here by end of day. I live in New Hampshire. I live about half an hour north of Boston, and China 24 hours ago, no exaggeration. I said, there's no way that's going to be here. And it went through Anchorage, Alaska, to Kentucky, to New Hampshire.
That's insane. It just goes to show you how fast things can actually get to people.
It actually can happen, yeah.
Yeah. And another weird thing that you said that it came via UPS, which is very strange for Prime One.
It is the first time, and I've had at least 3 that I can think of off the top of my head. Actually, Hush here is one of them that came direct from Prime One, and they've all come either DHL or EMS, never UPS. And honestly, when I saw the shipping notification said UPS, I said, yes. That is good, because I know UPS, if nothing else, the tracking is accurate, unlike DHL's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go ahead and let you get started. I know you've been waiting forever to get this thing unboxed.
Try not to pop a hernia or something doing this while you kind of entertain the chat. You guys can laugh at me while I try to get this thing unboxed.
Well, it is a big box. One thing that I was really proud that it was just one box, because so many Prime One lately has been 2 boxes, and there are times where I do appreciate that. I can understand why they, maybe for breakage issues that they wouldn't want to do one singular box. But I know this is one singular box, and I know the Hush Poison Ivy is going to only be one box. So for cost effectiveness, that means a lot to me. But it is a big box, wouldn't you say?
It's a huge box. Sorry, I'm off camera for the moment. I gotta slide this thing out, but it is a huge box. I have to tell you, it's been a good week. I received the Joker Arkham Origins yesterday.
Congratulations.
Thank you, which is another awesome Prime One piece. I have to tell you, shipping woes aside, man, Prime One, you just can't beat it. And that piece is super impressive. It's one of those that, everybody always says, every statue looks better in person, basically, than, on video or in pictures. That one is, I'd say, above the average line in terms of how much better it is. It's so much more substantial. He weighs a ton, and he's just big. The whole piece is just big. It looks like a smaller piece on video and in pictures, and it's not at all in person. It's huge.
Well, it's such a great piece. That's one that I've always had my eye on. Of course, I have the Arkham Knight. Now, you don't have that one, do you?
I don't, and I think I mentioned in my when I posted that I got that Joker piece. I said, I've forgot a year or two been struggling ever since the Arkham Knight piece was announced. Went on PO. I thought about that one. I was struggling with this one, and no exaggeration, it literally just kind of came to me. I said, "Wow, that looks like Faces of Villainy by Alex Ross." I said, "That'd be great in front of that piece," and sure enough, it looks just like it. So
awesome. I'm glad you got it. That's awesome. I had it on pre-order for the longest time, but then whenever they announced Arkham Knight, I canceled it. But I just didn't know at the time, like, do I need 2 Jokers, or do I even have room for 2 Jokers like that? And honestly, no. But then, of course, then I go and buy the Iron Studios one. So
yeah. Well, Chris, I got stung by that. How many? Are there too many Jokers? Comment in Rogues Gallery a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I do. Believe me, I remember that one.
Yeah, no, you can't have too many Jokers, and I'm going to have a few of them this year, I think. Okay, so we got the 2020 calendar, which I know all of you guys got. I got a promotional piece for Bane. I got a promotional piece. Oh my God, look at the instructions. Promotional piece for Superman Black. And then I got, holy Christmas.
Yeah.
A whole lot of steps for the instructions.
Yeah.
So I'm going to lean on you to help me through this.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll try to do the best I can. While you're doing, which is what I feel like is the hardest part of unboxing the statue, is getting the damn styrofoam out of there. And I like that you do it too. You flip it upside down just like I do.
Have to.
Yeah. I don't really know any other way to do it. But while you're doing that, I want to give a shout out to people that are in here. We got Rain Man here. Thank you for being in the chat with us. We got Wo Rang here. Critical Mass is with us. Mario Fernandez. Punisher XS. Wo Rang says, the look on your face is the look of love.
He's not wrong.
Ryan's with us. He says, hi, all excited for the Damien edition. We are too. I can't wait to see that puppy. Rain Man says, finally, Dan, finally.
Amen, brother.
There's the box. Dan's showing that off. I love this box.
Oh, the box is tremendous. Actually, this side here, if this was a piece of art, I'd put it on my wall.
Yeah, me too.
Cool as hell.
I love it. I just think it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think it's one of Prime One's best boxes.
Yep.
Will Rang says, did you use economy shipping?
I did not. I used standard shipping.
Standard.
Yep.
Okay. And it was not cheap.
It was, like I said, I live in the Boston area. It was $395 US.
$395.
Yep.
Which is insane. It's still a lot of money.
It's a crap ton of money. And I wouldn't pay that for just any piece. This was my most anticipated of the year, and quite frankly, to date, I mean, it's already in my top 3. I haven't opened it yet.
Yeah.
So I was kind of willing to bite that bullet. I know with economy shipping, I've heard of people saying that they get it, sometimes in a few weeks and sometimes in 5-6 months. And I just wasn't willing to risk 5-6 months. And honestly, like I had said on prior shows, I didn't want to give up on the DX. It was just an important piece to me. The Court of Owls is one of my favorite stories. I just didn't want to give up on that aspect of it.
Yeah.
So fork out the money.
It's worth it. Actually, I have the Prime One Mercenary Bane, and I am at this point. I finally took him out of the box. He was just unboxed this week. Because I didn't know if I was going to keep him or not.
Right.
And now I think I'm going to go ahead and get the Venom again. Because I think he works better in this room, and the Venom Bane is on sale, of course, for the Golden Week, and I put it in the cart, but I just didn't know if the shipping wasn't bad. I think it was only like $75. But that was for the regular shipping, and I was like, I just don't know how long it'll take to get to me. Right. I'm still considering it because it's like on sale for $650.
Yeah, there were a couple that were in that $600 plus dollar range, and holy crap. That's a tremendous deal. You start moving under $700 for a Prime One piece, tough to pass up.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Punisher XS says, Batman Who Laughs is such an awesome piece.
Nice.
Guys in here with us today. Worang says, congratulations, amazing piece. Rainman says, my economy pieces always come UPS.
Really?
And that, Rainman, is that through Prime One direct? Let me know down below.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if it comes into the West Coast and they switch there.
Yeah, it might be.
To UPS.
Rang, sorry, says, is there any DX pieces left? I think Sideshow is sold out.
Sideshow, the wait list is full.
Okay.
And I believe last time I looked, Prime One said low stock.
Okay, yeah, I believe it. It's, guys, like Dan's going to see it here in a second in person. It is phenomenal. It's just a phenomenal piece. Dead Inside XXXV says, I'm still waiting for mine in the UK. Can't wait to get it. Did you get the DX or the regular Dead Inside? Let me know.
Holy cow. Chris, we've got our work cut out for us here, brother.
Yeah, I know. Crazy piece. There's so many parts. Will Rank says, tell him to watch the Prime One video to do the chain setup. I'm going to recommend that too. Again, that was instrumental. And I literally, each section is only like a half second long. So I had to rewind it over and over and over again. Some people have said, you can kind of do your own thing, but I kind of wanted it exactly like it was meant to be.
Right.
But there are, once you get it going, it gets pretty easy, but you have to kind of keep it taut. But it's complicated. And we won't do that on camera. You guys are
doing for the evening.
Yeah, it'll take forever. Punisher XS says you're gonna love it. We've got Jedi Joker in here watching with us. He says, "Hey guys."
Hey Jedi Joker.
I'm not sure if Jedi Joker's been with us before. Jedi, welcome.
Wow.
We got Mario Fernandez. He says, "Hola."
Hola.
Slim Boss says, hello, fellas. Dylan Hicks says, looks to be an epic statue. Congratulations on getting it.
Thank you, sir.
We've got the Bataholic in with us today. Hey, bud. He says, love it. Watching for some guidance myself. Mine comes on Thursday. Congratulations on yours as well.
Nice.
Slim Boss, yes, he did order it from Prime One directly.
So
he says he's still waiting on his from Sideshow. So I know that they're shipping out, I think, this week on the DX from Sideshow, if I remember right. So
yeah, Mac Collectibles. He said he got his notification.
Okay, good. Yeah, Mac, he's going to be reviewing his as well. So definitely check out Mac Collections. He'll have his video up sometime in the next week, probably. Dark Ranger 7 says, hey, Chris and Dan, congratulations again, Dan. So a lot of people congratulated you.
Awesome. Appreciate it, everyone.
Rainman says, yes, Prime One Direct takes about 30 days for the freight, then about 5 to 7 days for UPS. So that's interesting. That is interesting. So I know you haven't had a chance to look at it too much yet, but what do you think of the base?
It's funny. Gut reaction is I like it a lot. But first of all, I love it. I love the kind of the demonic take on the building sculptures. Normally would be gargoyles. In this case, they kind of look like demonized bats. On camera, film or video or still pics, the demon heads look more silver. They look more shimmery. On camera here, they look more muted to me. And I was kind of afraid of that. I didn't want them to be super shiny.
Yeah, me too.
I kind of wanted that weathering, and I actually, I'm happier with them than I thought. It looks awesome. It looks awesome.
It looks like a patinaed metallic to me. It's been out in the weather.
Yep.
Do you feel like it could easily match with an Arkham base? I feel like I could put this with my Arkham collection, and it matches perfectly.
Without question. And I know my camera's a little high, so you guys might not be able to see this, but it does have the bat right here on the back. And it's got, the three kind of building corner or building gargoyle positions as though he's on the corner, or an offshoot of a building, I think he'd match perfect.
Yeah, I do too.
And I'm looking at him from a scale standpoint. He's third scale, and he seems scaled exceptionally well, like all the others in the Arkham line, at least. And no, I think he'd be great.
I've really considered putting him with my line.
Yep.
I don't love the Bane I have. I don't love. I'm considering selling my Azrael, and I would have some room for him. But at the same time, I'm like, well, he wasn't really in the game, so I don't know if I'd get trashed for that, for having him in the lineup. But
yeah,
I think he fits in better with them even than like sitting next to my Deathstroke necessarily, because I just don't know where I'm going to put him for sure. But
I think that is a tricky part, in terms of where. Sorry, I'm just looking through where these pieces are. Oh,
you're all right.
Damien head. I think. Here's his head. I've often thought about what I want to put it next to, and it may mean me purchasing another statue, because I've kind of fallen in love with the deep piece.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
well, she would look tremendous next to him.
She would look awesome next to him.
And they're going to do other ones from metal. So I can see a whole row.
Can you see his head?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
It's the ears are cut off, but you can see it.
Okay.
You can see above the visor. So
let me tilt him up just a little bit.
There you go. Yeah, those ears are so big. Man, he looks good.
Incredible.
What do you think of that head sculpt, man?
What's crazy? The teeth are creepy as hell.
I know. I feel like it's the best teeth
that
they've ever done. Like I remember staring at it for a while, and I'm like, oh my god, this is just so incredibly good. And wait till you see the teeth on the Robins.
They can't be any less creepy.
Oh, it's gonna blow you out of the water. I guarantee it. It's just so cool. I want to say hi to a few more people. Pop Foster's here with us. Hello, Ryan says, Chris, that Hush Poison Ivy is looking like it's going to turn out well. Did you see the Prime 1 unboxing video? Yes, I did. Again, I'm really excited that it was only one box. And so far, I think she looks really great. I feel like some of the lighting has not been great on her. I'm really excited to see her in hand to see if anything was lost. But, man, I can't wait to get that piece. That's really cool. Raptor724 says, this is exciting. So welcome. I'm glad you're here with us.
Boy, there's a lot of Robin parts, Chris.
There's a lot of what?
Robin parts.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's hard to figure out which Robin goes where.
I can't even try to find his the Batman Who Laughs right arm at the moment.
It's in there, hopefully.
And I've located the Damien. I will not.
All right, good.
But
this is YouTube's first look at Damien here. I'm really excited.
It is.
I just can't believe there haven't been any other reviews yet.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Because I know a few people in Asia have him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, God, people got him like 3 months ago in Asia.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
All right.
Which I'm hoping that's not the case for Poison Ivy, because, if Poison Ivy is just now coming out, I don't want her to be out in late summer, but it might be.
Okay.
Tim Fola says, getting my EX to Switzerland, and it should be arriving at the end of the month. Amazing piece. Can't wait. What's your rating on the piece from 1 to 10? For me speaking, I think on my review, I think I gave it a 9.8. I don't know, Dan, what's your initial impression? I know you haven't had a chance to really look at him much.
Haven't looked at him too much yet, but let me tell you what I think so far. I mean, the detail is off the charts. And I have a lot of thoughts about the suit and the design on him, and how kind of Capullo and the creative team came up with the design. I actually talked to Greg a little bit about it at Boston Comic-Con last summer when we had a chance to just chat for a few minutes. I asked him about the costume and some of the things, and the detail on it is crazy. And like, look, Prime 1, they do a great job with texture. The textures are awesome. The leather looks like leather. The fabric looks like fabric. Right down to the, you can see the stitching in his boot laces. You can see the kind of baseball glove style stitching in the boots and along his coattails.
I like the shape of his boots. They're cool.
Just awesome. Yep.
Kind of like leopard or elf boots, kind of.
A little elvish. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little elvish. Okay, it wants me to put the backdrop on.
Yeah, that goes in pretty easy. Just make sure you do it real straight.
Oh, wrong way.
Mine kind of got caught in the corner, and it wouldn't go down all the way, but I didn't really have it from a straight up and down angle.
Oh, yeah. I just experienced what you just said.
Yeah.
I love the crowbars.
Awesome. I know. It's so bad that there's so much detail in the back, and you don't get to see it because it's cool in the back.
Exactly.
Right. Well, Rang says, wow, it looks great every time I see it. I'm sure in person it's a whole different ball game, and that's true.
It is an impressive piece. I can't get over the face, and you only see half of it, and it's amazing. The face is the teeth. I mean, they do a great job on teeth. I can honestly say those are the best sculpted teeth I've seen. Yeah. I mean, crazy good.
Absolutely. Right. Let's see. Who do you got there? I think that one might be. That one's on the front. Yep, right there.
The front, right?
Yep. His leg actually kind of tucks back behind Batman Who Laughs' leg. It's an interesting fit, but man, it all fits together pretty nicely.
Okay. Yep. Gotcha.
Mario Fernandez says Batman Who Laughs is one of the best characters they have done, new character wise, and I would have to agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
I've been saying that since, well, for a long time now. Basically, since I had the opportunity to read the stories last summer and, read Dark Knight's Metal, read Immortal Men. I think he's the best villain to come out of DC since Harley Quinn. Without question.
High praise, right?
Yep. I mean, yeah, I think so.
Trevor S says, dude, you've got to get the Deep. That is a dope piece.
She is beautiful and so cool. And, we talked about it on the show a couple weeks ago, and I think the steampunk aesthetic that they worked into her design is awesome. Wow, look at this guy. Look at this dude.
Let me zoom it up a little bit for you. Yeah.
Here's with the Robins. The skin on Robins is creepy as all get out.
I love the skin, and I love the texturing on the red. Like, it's just.
Yep.
I think it's really, really impressive.
Yeah, they didn't spare any time or energy on these. That's for sure. All right. So long-legged crow. Where does this one go, Chris?
He goes in the back, the very far back right on that side. Yep.
This side.
Yep. I can't remember if you have to maybe take the background off first, but he does fit. His leg also kind of fits in between. Yep, like that. It's kind of a tight fit, but
yeah, that is a tight fit, huh? And it has you put the background on first.
And I think I took mine off to get him back in, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a smart move.
Now that you're doing it.
Yeah, but it's funny. The instructions have you putting the background on before.
I tell you, those instructions are like a roadmap to nowhere.
Well, that's a great way to put it, and I agree.
I spent so much time trying to figure. I mean, most of it, of course, I just winged it and just tried to, figure it out myself. But man, there's a lot going on in those instructions. I would almost rather have it written out, I think.
Yep, I agree. Wow, this is snug. Okay. Try that again.
Danny Rose says really good quality head sculpt. Slim Boss says, Dan, it looks awesome. Rain Man says the same epic head sculpt.
Thank you guys.
Eric B says, looks good, Dan. The Batman who unboxes. I like it.
Batman who unboxes. That's awesome.
That's good.
Again.
Critical Mass says, Chris, it's your collection. Put them where you want. Yeah, I know. I just don't know on that. Like, I don't know if he would. I think he would fit, but man. I know he has been in some game, or at least one game. He was in that new fighting game, I think.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
I did not know that he was in a game yet.
Because they made a big deal because he like talks, like he has a voice.
Ah, gotcha.
And like no one really knew how he was. So that the front of the knee bends toward the front of the statue. Yep, just like that.
Perfect.
All right, nice.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. So I've got Robin heads.
Okay, which one do you got there? That one is okay. That one's the one with the tongue sticking out. That is going to go on the Robin that you just put on the base.
Okay. Aha. Before the capes?
I think you're going to have to take the head sculpt off to do the cape.
All right, but we can put them on for the time being.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Okay.
Marvelous Dave says, congrats, Dan. He's looking good.
Thank you, sir.
Eric, yes, this is the DX. We were talking about that. I think we're the first ones on YouTube to have the DX, and this does come with that Court of Owls mask. So I personally did not get the DX, and I regret it. At the time, I didn't really feel like it matched the base enough. But the more I've seen it out, I'm like, I should have got it. And I didn't really know that you could put the mask on, like the mask you could pose. So I think that's really cool. So we'll see that here real soon with Dan here.
God, you're right about the teeth on these two, Chris, on the crows. Holy cow.
Oops, let me. Yeah, it's just I just can't believe how good they are.
Unbelievable.
They're like these just jagged shards, but they just look so real.
So this one looks like it's this one. Yeah, exactly. And there's so many of them, and they're packed in there really tight. And the detail and the fact that they're able to get the separation. You know, a lot of times teeth on some statues kind of run together. You know, they don't do a good job of separating them. And
yep, they bleed. Paint bleeds a lot.
Exactly. All right, so I've got two of the three. Oh, just ran into the court mask.
Oh, that's awesome.
At least it's here.
Yep, that's right. Thank God. Rayman says I need an alternate Batman section with Nightfall and Flashpoint. That'd be cool.
Oh man, I tell you what, I have Nightfall. Nightfall is my next up to read. It's a little intimidating. 3 omnibus.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Have you read it, Chris?
I don't know if I've ever read the whole thing. I think I've read at least one of them. I'm trying to remember. I know I at least read one. I don't know if I could make it through all 3. It's a lot.
It's a lot. I'm looking at them here on my shelf, and each one is about 3 or 4 inches thick.
Dark Ranger says that without those Robins and the splash of color they bring, I don't think the main Batman Who Laughs statue would be nearly as cool. Too much dark and black with him just alone. I would tend to agree with that just because, like, I have some Catwoman statues, and the bad thing about Catwoman is it's just that all the black, you just lose so much. And I could see that if this was just Batman Who Laughs by himself, I don't know if I would be as impressed either. Yeah,
I would agree with you. It'd be tough. They'd have to figure out some way to include some color into the statue, no question about it.
Yeah, and that's difficult. It's a difficult character to do that with. So I think the art direction was really smart. Kevin Van Cleve says that thing looks insane. Joker Guy says drool. Danny Rowe says Prime 1 has really outdone themselves, and that is true. Eric B says, I think you're supposed to put the capes on first. Yep.
I think Eric B is correct.
Yes, he is correct. Raw Statue Review says, hey, my man, just tuned in. So great to see you guys doing the live unboxing. Huge congratulations, Dan. Man, that was a long wait. That piece is sick. Looks like a Batman straight out of Mordor. And if you're a part of the Facebook group, Dan has been posting every day. And people have really started to really like it, and now that he's here, people are begging him to do, continue on the series where he shows off some of his amazing things in his Bat Cave. Just some really great stuff at Wayne Manor North.
I've got another idea for that, Chris. So maybe we'll make an announcement soon because I love doing it.
I like that. That's great.
Yep. All right. So I found one cape.
Okay. I don't know. I'm not going to be very good with the capes. The capes you have to kind of just trial and error with.
Well, the good news is they seem to only fit one way.
They do. They only fit one way.
Damien's cape.
The Bad Holic says, I'd put him with those characters, Chris. He would look great in that setup. Well, thank you. I might just do that. We'll see.
I think he'd match really well, Chris. I really do. And to be honest, I've been kind of thinking about I'm having a kind of a center point in my room. So he'll be somewhat standalone, I guess you could say.
Yeah. This is a character that could easily stand alone. Like it's, having him in a corner with, a CGC or who was it? Somebody, I can't remember. Somebody just posted that in the Facebook group today where they had the CGC and then the painting behind it.
I saw somebody with the painting and it looked awesome.
Oh, it looked so good. It was the sideshow painting.
Yep.
Toys of Arkham. Sorry, Toys of Arkham says, hello from Ireland, buddy. Love your channel. Thank you very much. Thoughts on XM Studios generally, but specifically Batman Rebirth and Catwoman Rebirth. XM Studios is a great company. I do not own an XM piece at this point. I'm hoping to get a Batman Sanity. I feel like that could be my end-all XM piece. I don't know. But I really like the Batman Rebirth and Catwoman. It's not my favorite scale, but man, they're fun for comic book collectors. What do you think about those two pieces, Dan?
I love them, first of all. I have a hard time with the scale. I had the intention to bring the Rebirth Joker and Rebirth Harley into my collection. And as you know, I did get the Joker. And I actually think I'm going to move him out of my collection. I can't get my head around the scale. I have some quarter and mostly 1/3. The quarter I have is primarily the Samurai line, XM Samurai line, but the 6 just doesn't seem to fit, at least my setup, because I have a lot of them. It's not like I have a whole shelf full of them, and it just seems like a little bit of an orphan piece. But that said, the pieces are incredible. What's the one that looks like the steampunk Gotham by Night? What's it called?
Gotham by Gaslight.
Gaslight. Awesome piece. Love that. If that was quarter or third, I'd own it. I'd PO right now.
I would too. I struggle with the same thing. I mean, both of us have had some like tweeter heads in our collection recently, and it's just like they look so great, but when they're around other of these big pieces, they just don't pop like they should.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're not doing them justice or something. I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah.
Mario Fernandez says, I'm working right now from home designing tresses for the U.S. I'm from Nicaragua, and I live in Costa Rica. Going to start raining here, so good time for the live. Hey, welcome. Thank you.
Welcome.
Let's see. Marvelous Day says, Poison Ivy coming to me in mid-September. I live in the U.K., so yeah, a big delay there.
So, Chris, I heard you say in your review that you got kind of toward the end of this process that you thought it felt, by the time you got done, more like a diorama, and I have to agree.
Yeah, I mean, this piece, I own a lot of Prime 1 pieces, as do you.
Yep.
And this one, to me, tells the most of a story. There's just so much action to it, and there's so much going on. Yep. That's why I think I felt that way. It just, every statue I appreciate. Most of my statues are museum poses. I just kind of spin my camera here. All my Arkham pieces, they're all pretty much museum.
Right.
But this one is a museum pose too, but I don't know. I think going back to what they said, it's just the Robins add so much. It's just, I don't know. It's just so beautiful to look at.
I agree. And by the way, this thing is monstrous. It is big. Wow.
Yeah.
It's really big.
Let me zoom into you there. Will Rank says, what is Dan's favorite Batman story?
My favorite Batman story is Hush. No surprise, I guess, right? My favorite Batman story is Hush, and my second favorite would be Court of Owls.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. Ryan says the Robins are creepy good, and I would agree with that.
Okay, where did I put something on? Oh, there it is. Well, at least the you know what's nice is the arms are keyed, so they can only go in a certain way. Which
Yes,
is nice.
I appreciated that greatly.
Makes this process a little easier.
Dark Ranger says, "Oh, so are we going to witness the chains live too?" Well, we'll see. Stay tuned.
I don't know if I'm feeling that ambitious, Dark Ranger.
Yeah, stay tuned. Ryan says, Dan and Chris, you both need bigger rooms for your statues, and amen, brother.
Can I tell you, I said to my wife a couple weeks ago, I'd like to put an addition on the house. And she almost like said, oh, really?
Oh, well, hey, maybe there's some problem.
Shoot it down, and I said, I think I take that as a green light.
Yeah, that's what that sounds like to me.
Or a bat cave.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yep, because I don't know about you guys, and I haven't done a room tour in a long time or actually given context in a room tour, but my collection room is my home office. So I have the best wife in the world, and and my collection is right on the first floor. It's a large open concept home, and so when you walk in the front door, there's a Justice League Ben Affleck statue to greet you on the left, and there's a wide open large space that takes you into my office and my collection. And it's a good size room, but we could always have larger. And
sure.
But
that's basically what I'm in this room. It's about an office size room, so
okay,
you only fit so much in a space like that,
That is it, right?
Yeah. Superman Kelly's with us. He says, just realized this was live. It automatically switched over from a Mr. X video. Well, that's cool. Well, hey, collectibles. Hello.
Love that.
Rank says, what is Dan's most anticipated death metal character that Prime 1 hasn't announced yet?
Oh, that's a good one. I really like Red Death, the Flash, Batman. That'd probably be next, but that deep one is, I guess, well, they've already made her, but I don't know. This one doesn't seem, I wonder if I put it in the wrong place.
Oh, yes, you did. Well, hold on. Yeah, the hand. Okay, this Robin right here on screen, the one closest to where the camera would be. That one's the wrong hand.
That's the wrong hand.
Yes.
Aha. See?
I think I did the exact same thing.
Did you really?
I think I did, yes. That one fits where, his hand's almost straight out. There you go.
There it is.
That's better.
Nice, much better.
Yeah, that's better. I think I did the exact same ones.
Holy Christmas! There's chains and tools,
and they're heavy, and you're gonna need that. You're gonna need that tool.
Okay.
You need it.
Chains and tools. Wow! And another bag of chains.
Yeah. Dan Blaster 82 says, also my first live, and your videos got me into Prime 1 Studios. I blame my empty wallet on you, mate. Well, hey, sorry about that.
That's okay. We all blame Chris.
We are all enablers in this hobby.
We are of the worst kind. But
that's right.
It's really funny.
Ernesto says, "Great piece, congrats." And Dark Ranger says, "I would love to see an updated room tour. So maybe we can make that possible here."
I would love to do that. It's very different from the original one that I did. I don't know when that was, a year ago or so, maybe.
Year and a half, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. It's been a while. I found a bunch of these little. They look like. Oh, are these the boot ropes, Chris?
Yes, they're kind of. Well, they're basically like shoelaces. Yes. I think you should still be able to get them in there. There's little keyholes.
And they're magnetized.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, that's a small magnet. Nice. Very nice.
I keep saying this wrong. Wo Rang says, yeah, Red Death is going to be awesome to see. And Dark Ranger says, I love all your prints out of a lot of the other collections I've seen. Your prints seem to be a highlight, especially the Alex Ross. And I would agree with that.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm a huge Alex Ross fan. I wish I had more wall space. Actually, Chris, our friend Charles Carosa has a print currently for sale. It's an artist proof of Alex Ross's Batman Descent on Gotham. Is 26 by 42, I think.
Wow.
Absolutely amazing. And, that one's been haunting me a little bit as it is still available. I think so. Chris, what do you know about that?
All right, let me see what you got there. That is the tie, and that goes on. I'm trying to remember which Robin. I think it's the back Robin. Yep, the back one. He's got a kind of like a bow tie hangs down.
Yep. Yeah, he does. And it also is magnetized. That's very helpful. Thank you.
I got another question in here. Feel free, guys, in the chat to ask questions. Dan Blaster 82 says, question, do you guys prefer to have one version of a character to allow you to purchase a different character statue, or have multiple of a character you love? I'll let you go first on that.
Yeah, that's a great question, and one that I've struggled with, is like of all of us, no matter how much space you have, ultimately it's limited. And I've kind of, with the exception of Batman, and I only choose my very favorites. So, as somebody who has decided, thanks actually in large part to Chris taking us all through his thought process around collection and focus and not getting stressed out about collecting. You can see the MCU pieces I have behind me. Those are the last holdout, and I don't envision getting rid of them. I have my kind of MCU corner here. It's the only corner in my room that is anything but Batman. But Batman as as a lead character, if you count this, I have one. I have the Arkham Knight Battle Damaged. I have Noel. I have the Justice League Batfleck. I have Hush, and I have XM Samurai, and that is it. With respect to the villains, I only have one of each villain. So, and that's been tough at times. I'm a fan of Harley Quinn, as a lot of us are, and I chose the one I like the best. I have the Suicide Squad Harley. I really like the new one. Is it Rebirth, Chris, the one that Prime One's doing? I think it's Rebirth, right?
I think so, yes.
On skates. I really love that piece. But by not picking her up and focusing and only having one, it allows me to buy other villains. So, no, I only go with one. It's a long-winded answer to I'm trying to only go with one of the rogues, and then Batman. I think for right now at least, I have the ones I want. There are pieces that I'm sure in the pipeline that scare me in terms of picking up more Batmans. One of them is a Fabok Batman, which I would love. One of the things you'll see, I have a piece of art here in my collection. Actually, I can show you guys. I have to remount it. I had the chance to meet Jason. This is a piece of Jason's art. It's signed by him. I had the opportunities to chat with him, meet him at C2E2 in 2014. And he was really just starting to kind of hit his stride. He had just gotten his first big gig with DC. It was Batman Eternal.
Nice.
And so when I went up to meet Jason, it was in the middle of the day on like Friday, and he was all by himself sitting at a 6-foot table, and I was the only one there.
That's awesome.
There was just nobody around. And the same show had the same time met Tony Daniel, who at the time was working on Detective Comics.
Yep.
They had just rebooted that, and great run. And same thing with him. There was like a couple people. These guys, nobody knew who they were. So those are two artists that if they came out with a Batman from each of them, I'd be hard pressed to lay off.
Well, I don't know if I told you this, but I ordered another CGC with Jason, and it's the Three Jokers cover, signed 9.8. So somebody was selling them, and that's been delayed, of course, till I think not August. So I don't even know when I'll actually get it, but I'm really excited about that cover. I just love it.
You know what? Follow those guys on Twitter, Chris, and they do tons of updates, and they'll show sketches, and they'll talk about where they're at on certain parts of the book. And
that's cool.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that as well. So, that's where I'm at on. I don't know about you, Chris. Where are you on relative to multiple character versions?
Well, I struggle with this. This is something I tend to buy more villains than Batmans. Right now I have 1, 2, 3. I've got 3 Batman. And then of course I've got the premium format Batman. I've got the life-size bust Batman. But I tend to get more villains. I struggle with that right now because I have my Arkham collection and I have so many villains there. Like I have a Deathstroke. Well, then I ordered the Deathstroke comic book version from Prime One,
which is awesome, by the way.
And it is awesome. I'm going to have, my comic book section, but at the same time, I'm like, do I really need 2 Deathstrokes? No, I don't. He's not even a favorite character of mine. I like him, but he's not like my all-time favorite.
Sure.
I am going to have multiple Jokers. I'm going to have the Bermejo Joker. I'm going to have the Iron Studios Joker. Of course, the Arkham Knight Joker. And probably if they ever do a Hush Joker, I'd probably buy that as well. So there are characters I certainly would get more of. I'm going to get another Harley Quinn. I'm going to get that one you mentioned from Prime One. So there are characters that I am going to get. I'm going to try not to double up, but it's very difficult.
It's hard. It's really, really hard. I mean, that Deathstroke that you got, I have the Samurai, the XM Samurai Deathstroke, which I absolutely love. One of my favorite bases on any statue in my collection. It's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I mean, and I love the comic book version. That's basically taken right from Tony Daniel's cover of Deathstroke. I think it's Deathstroke 1, actually.
Yes, it is.
When they rebooted it. And I mean, it's just a phenomenal piece, but it's enormous. It would just take up a ton of valuable real estate,
Yeah. My new stand that I just built, I had planned to put 5 up there. And with him, I don't know if I would be able to do 4, but I don't know about 5 because he takes up at least a space and a half of the premium format. I tested, it has that big sickle that comes out, and that takes up a tremendous amount of room also. And so I kind of just twisted it. It's not actually in the base, but I kind of twisted it to have it kind of making it come forward. And I think that might save me some space to do that and still have the same kind of look. But yeah, it's such a big piece. And speaking of big pieces, Dead Inside says, Chris, are you getting the new Prime One Bane? I am going to be getting the Prime One Bane. I have decided, but I'm going to wait to see if it comes out from Sideshow. Just because I'm so worried about what the shipping is going to be on him from Prime One. I'm terrified.
Yeah, I have to say, even though Prime One in the end really stepped up and did the right thing and took care of this particular order for me, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the shipping. I've got 3 or 4 other pieces on PO with them right now, and I'm a little worried. I've got the 0 Year, I've got the Bermejo Joker, I've got the new Hush Batman, all big pieces. And the shipping quotes that are in there now are pretty reasonable. Actually, this guy was real expensive for some reason, but even 0 Year Batman, which is a pretty big piece. I think the base on that is like 27 inches or something. It's crazy. And it's $230, which not the end of the world. Now, don't get me wrong. If it had been available on Sideshow, I certainly would have gone that route. But in terms of canceling and losing NRDs and so forth, I don't know if I'm going to do that yet.
I know. We talked to you. I was going to cancel the Bermejo Joker from Prime One, and I ended up not. I said I was going to, but at the end of the day, I'm like, your story kind of convinced me to say, okay, well, maybe I need to wait a little bit longer here. Maybe I need to give it a chance to kind of everything to level out. Because I do worry about the shipping. I don't want to pay $500, $600.
Exactly. And especially, and the problem was I watched somebody talk about a piece, and I can't remember what statue it was, and it wasn't a Batman statue. Somebody on one of the Facebook groups complaining about Prime One shipping, and Prime One just canceled their order.
Oh, really?
They complained about the shipping and the whole bit. And they said, thank you very much. Your order's now canceled.
Wow.
And that was one of my fears with him. And I just, didn't want to run into that. And
yeah, so I don't blame you.
Anyway, so Chris, I've got some leather. Are these for the Robins, these leather collars?
Yes. Okay, so that is going to be instrumental for when you do the chains. The chains will grip to those. So they're kind of like little chokers.
Gotcha.
You will have to take the heads off to get those back in.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, we can do that separately.
Ghostman93, I have to say this. He says, hello, Chris, I'm 24. Tell me why every chick I bring to my house freaks out on my collection. LOL, any advice?
You can start with 40.
Oh, I tell you, people either really understand this stuff or they don't. Thank God we both have wives that understand. the insanity of what we do, because it really is insanity to have rooms like we have. But it's cool stuff. And if people don't understand it, maybe you need to move on, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Chris, we are at the point where, with the exception of the chains, Damien is the last piece to put together.
All right. We want to see it.
Why don't we break him out? Wow, he's sizable. Wow, he's really sizable. So here's the body itself and the base.
That's cool. Same skin color?
Same kind of skin. Obviously dressed much differently.
Yes.
Wow, look at the vertebrae.
Creepy.
On his back and his ribs, and holy cow. The base, that, by the way, I'm kind of extending here over the corner of the end of my desk, and this thing is heavy, like real heavy.
Yeah, it looks solid.
Yep, it is definitely solid.
So do the reds and the greens match the robins on the statue? That's what I was concerned about, because I feel like some of the coloring was a little bit different on him. But do you feel like it's the same?
I can tell you it's exactly the same.
Okay, great.
That robin's egg green or blue, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
It's very much, it's within 1 degree of difference. I mean, it's very much the same.
That's great. I'm glad to hear that.
Yep. I'm going to grab something to prop him up on.
Sure. No problem. No problem. I'll answer a few more questions here.
Okay.
Marvelous Dave says Prime One put up shipping by about 25%, then emailed me back a few days later and put the shipping back down. Yes, they've been having a lot of issues, some communication with collectors about what's been going on with shipping, but it seems like things are getting kind of back to normal. And so I'm very optimistic that Prime One will be incredibly trustworthy to order from. I just feel like with world events, things got all screwed up. And I'm very optimistic, especially as the way they took care of Dan and getting his package to him so fast. I think that they're going to try to do everything right by the customer. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah, you can't argue. I mean, I think the hard part, Chris, was the communication.
Yeah.
It's just, I think there's just a different, I don't know if it's cultural, I don't know why, but the communication was just tough because there really wasn't much of any.
Yeah, I know just in some of my conversations that I've had with some people associated with Prime One that they do very much take comments to heart. Like and again, I feel like that is very cultural. And the level of respect. And so I understand where there's probably some communication differences and just the expectations. I mean, people expect things to be done just like that in certain ways. And when it's not done that way, I can see where where it causes trouble. I can see that. Yep. Ryan says, I don't think any wife understands. They just tolerate us. And that is just, that is exactly right.
All right. So oh, wow. So there's that.
Let me get you back here.
This is cool.
See this robin.
Found the cape.
Now this is Damian Wayne.
His cape is different.
His cape is different?
Yeah. His let me put this in the camera.
Oh, he's got yellow inside.
Yeah, he's got like that. Well, the other ones too. It's the same kind of baseball mitt kind of color, like a light leather cover.
Yeah.
But he's got a red collar that is it's a distinctly different. It's almost like a lighter, more worn version of the vest that the robins are wearing.
Okay.
But the back, the robins' capes are almost like a burlap kind of texture.
Yes.
Whereas his seems like it's more like a leather, like a worn leather kind of texture.
Still looks good though.
Oh, it looks amazing. Yeah.
I like how tattered it looks on the corners.
Yeah, it is super, super cool. Fits right in like a glove. Wow, that's awesome.
Now you've read metal more than me. Why why is Damien separate? Like, why is he not part of the other three?
He's without giving away the story, he's more of a focal point in the story.
Okay.
I don't want to give it away though for those who haven't read.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's me. So that's probably, if I had known that, probably I would have wanted to order it more.
I will spoil it if I tell you. Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Here is that.
Wow, the mask looks great. Is it plastic or is it?
I will give you a close. Actually, that's a good question. Let me get that back for a second.
I really like that you can pose it because I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, it's on a rope. So here is other way.
Wow, it looks. Oh, the blood looks great.
The blood is awesome.
Look how shiny it is.
Yep, it's definitely glistening.
It's like a gelatin.
Back.
I'm trying to think. Has there ever been any blood on Prime One pieces? The DC stuff. I'm trying to think.
Not
so.
I'm looking around and I don't see any. I don't think so.
I've never seen that technique done, but it looks really real.
It definitely does, and it's actually, and I know it's going to be hard to pick up on the camera, but it's not just one color. Can you see that? It's
that dark congealed.
Yep, there's like a mid-tone red, and then there's darker and lighter.
That looks awesome.
It's awesome.
Oh, I love it.
And it's on a rope, so it's not a sculpted, element. It's on it's almost like a piece of shoestring.
Yeah.
And then here is the more creepy teeth. Here is the.
Oh my gosh, he's crazy.
Yeah, he's insane. Whoop, this way. Yeah. Oh. Boy, the hair is really well done on all of these. I love the color. That's actually something different, Chris. So the hair on this guy is greener than the hair on the Robins.
And I noticed that whenever it went up for pre-order. Is there a reason from the comic book why it's different?
God, not that I remember. No.
Okay.
Not that specific element. No.
Yeah, he looks great though. Oh, I'm super jealous right now.
He's awesome. I don't know. I don't have him on the.
And especially knowing how much you like Court of the Dead. I mean, not Court of the Dead, the Court of Owls. That makes it even cooler with that mask.
It is. That's just a nice tie to one of my favorite stories. That's actually, honestly, if I'm being honest, that's one of the real big reasons I wanted this. I just thought it was a nice. I mean, I don't have any, New 52 even statues in my collection right now. Not yet. They're coming.
That's right.
Chris, I heard you say that you saw that somebody put this on theirs.
Yes, they did. I don't know how they did it, if it'll stretch, but they kind of sat it on there. Just something kind of just like that. Yep.
Something just like that. It's kind of holding on to a couple of the, his hairs kind of stick out a little. This does not go to the back of his head, and it's not a stretchy material. But
it would have been cool if it was elastic. Then it could have.
Yeah.
But maybe people don't feel like they're Prime One didn't feel like they would display it that way. But it's kind of cool you have the option.
Yeah, and it's not going anywhere. I wouldn't be worried about it per se. It's just the thing is, it doesn't look like it's on his head properly. It's just kind of on top. It's hard to show you, but the string is just kind of along the top of his head.
We can see on your camera real well.
Can you? Okay.
It's just hanging on the top there.
Yeah. So, but you asked me if this was plastic or not. I think it's resin.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I think it's a resin. It feels very light.
That's awesome. Rain Man said that the Dark Knight Returns, the original piece had blood on it, and it did.
Oh, that's right. It did around his mouth, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think even in like all of his sores and all of his bruises and stuff. Right. This looks more realistic to me in that mask.
Oh yeah, the blood on this looks wet.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Which the other piece that's cool too is the Robin R, blazoned on his chest is like a gold. It's like almost like a gold leaf paint. that looks fantastic.
So cool.
A lot of little breakable points. He's got real super long fingernails. You know, his hands are ungloved, obviously.
Yeah, his look more like a claw, like almost.
Exactly. Well, you know what it is? They look more like Batman who laughs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yep.
I'm so glad you got that version.
So there you have it. Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. It'll be interesting to see if you see people selling these separately.
Well, I will buy one. If anybody's watching this, I will buy one from you because it's cool.
Awesome. And I tell you what, he's huge. He's bigger than I thought. Let me. I'll be right back. Let me grab a tape measure.
You got it. Man, well, what do you guys think? Tell me in the chat. What do you think of this thing? Wu Rang says, any regrets? Yeah, I have regrets. This is really a cool piece. I tend to struggle with proximity pieces sometimes. And again, it was the color difference for me that bothered me. That was what it was. And I don't know why Prime One didn't make the hair the same color. I thought maybe there was something I missed. But just seeing it in hand, it is phenomenal.
Yeah, and it matches the statue really well. It looks like it's a part of it, you know. He's basically a foot tall.
Wow.
11 7/8, like just basically a foot tall.
A lot taller than I thought.
Yeah, me too. I did not expect him to be this big nor this heavy. And he's probably about right out to the tip of that cape. He's about 8.5 wide. And let's see, deep, about the same deep. So he's a good sized proximity piece.
He's going to take up some space.
He's gonna eat a little space. But with a piece that doesn't have a companion right now, that's kind of cool to have him nearby. So that works.
Yeah, it works really great.
Yep.
Dark Ranger said it looks like a cross of Gollum and Robin.
It is kind of a Gollum pose, isn't it?
Yeah. It is.
Yep.
And he's holding his precious right there. So
he's holding his precious.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Dan Blaster says it's like a whole new piece on its own. I feel it's a great value exclusive versus, say, a minor switch out. Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually,
was one of the surprise. I mean, I don't know why I shouldn't have been surprised, of course, reading the descriptions of the, what comes with the piece. But you mentioned it, Chris, when you unboxed, and you said, "Oh, there's no real switch outs to this piece. Not that it needs it, but
yeah, it was interesting to me because there's so many Prime One pieces that I have that at least have a couple of head sculpt differences, but like you said, this piece it just doesn't need anything else. Like there's so much going on. I don't think I would ever want anything to swap out.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Jay Woo says now they need to make a Talon. They've actually teased a Talon, probably 2 years ago. And I am still very optimistic that they will do a Talon. I think it's a no-brainer. I'm assuming Dan would probably get that.
I would get a Talon in a minute.
So I'm very excited, especially if it's kind of in an action pose. I think that would be really fun. But yeah, I sure hope they do a Talon. It said, Wolverine says, that face is horrifying. Keep your kids away. Yes. It's definitely not for everybody.
No, it's not. It's definitely a different kind of piece. I mean, I'm one of those that I actually enjoy it ties to, the horror or the creepy or, that kind of genre is appealing to me. I actually like that stuff. So right up my alley.
Justin Moda says, Dan, it finally happened. Congrats. So happy for you, man. Glad the wait is over. Don't get it before. Let's see. Glad the wait is don't get it before I got my Dark Knight 3. I'm not sure what he means, but obviously he's congratulating you on that.
No, I know Justin's been following. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
That's awesome. And Ryan says $200 difference between the regular and DX. It seems reasonable because the Damien is pretty big. I would agree. It seems like just a very substantial piece. It's not obviously a $50 upgrade for a different head sculpt. It's a whole thing.
Kind of look at him I've got his head at the same height roughly as, he's half a statue. You know what I mean? He's substantial. Yeah. He's got his own base, complete sculpt. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's well worth it.
What's the base? I couldn't really see the base very well. Does it? Is it just this, like a matte black, or is it like a kind of a stone?
It is. It's stone, so
there
it's
we go.
charred rock almost.
That's cool.
Very textured.
Yeah, the camera's really picking it up.
Then there's a sub base that you can kind of see down there that looks like metal.
It does. Yeah, with the little claw feet.
Exactly. Yep.
That's really
cool. That's one thing that really screams from this. It's just detail. The detail on this statue is crazy good.
Danny Rose says this is one of the best statues that I've seen so far. I know for me personally, I think it's the most detailed, most impressive statue I have in my collection. I don't know if I know you haven't had a chance to soak him in yet, but that's just the way I feel. Like, I don't know if any statue I have can top this thing.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that it's just so comprehensive, like you said, it tells its own story. It doesn't need any other piece. As you said, it could be a standalone. The detail, the quality, I mean, just every aspect of it. I can't think of anything I would knock, honestly, about it. Definitely takes the cake in my collection. This is definitely the new top dog, no question. I look around the room, and I mean, I love my collection. We talked about space earlier, and I'm really particular about the statues I bring into my collection, and those that I feel like are, maybe mediocre and, didn't have that lasting level of excitement or enthusiasm for, I've kind of exited from my collection. And so the ones I look around, I really like them. I don't know that there's one better than this. I can't think of one.
I assumed that you would agree with me on that. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of being comprehensive as a piece with detail, and I think probably Frieze might be the closest, in terms of complexity and detail.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
100%. Dan Blaster 82 says, do you think if this is very successful, it will lead to a whole Dark Knights metal line? 100% yes. They've already done the Deep, and they've already teased. I think they've teased everybody, if I remember right. And that's been a year ago. I haven't heard any movement whatsoever, but obviously with this piece, selling out or getting near sold out, I mean, that says a lot, that this line is popular. And I don't know if the Deep has sold very many. I don't know. She's not nearly as known as the Batman Who Laughs. And the Batman Who Laughs isn't nearly known yet. I mean, he's still very new. And only to this series. But I can definitely see a few more pieces coming from Prime One.
Yeah, and I think you get I don't know what, I haven't read, I purposely haven't read too much about death metal, about the new series that's coming from Capullo and Snyder. But I'm curious to know what the tie-ins are and whether or not this guy will make an appearance in the death metal series. And, you could see all kinds of new, fresh blood, if you will, driven into this character and stories. And so I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see a bunch more.
Yeah. Jesse has a request here. He says, Chris, can you ask Dan if he tried putting Damian Robin hand palm of hand facing up as pictured in the promo pics? So I'm not sure.
That's a good question. I will.
Maybe it's upside down.
I'm going to look at that.
I've done that before too.
I could have put it in incorrectly. I did not look at the instructions in this part. So
well, stay tuned. We'll see.
Stay tuned.
Somebody else said, Superman Kelly said, do you think the Bermejo Joker will top this statue? In terms of just sheer quality, and I would say no. I think the Bermejo Joker is going to be phenomenal. It's one of my most anticipated pieces because I absolutely love Bermejo Joker. But I just don't know how you can compare the two. This is basically four statues in one, and it tells this incredible story. Now, I think this would pair very well with the Bermejo Joker. A lot of people have said that they could see the Damned Batman and the Bermejo Joker on both sides of this guy. I've considered doing that myself because I think it would look cool together. But I just don't know. Do you think would be better, Dan?
I mean, they certainly kind of all. By the way, I can't remember who you said made that comment. They were correct. The hand is supposed to be palm up.
Oh, great! That's fantastic.
It worked. It fits in almost as good the other way, but this way you can tell it just click right in. So thank you very much.
Yeah, Jesse Hernandez recommended that. So
Jesse, good call, Jesse. Thank you.
You get 3 thumbs up or 2 thumbs up for me.
Yeah.
I'm at 3. I don't have 3 thumbs, but
I think with respect to going near in proximity to the damned pieces, yeah, absolutely. The damned story kind of reeks of that horror connection.
It does.
Especially with the bases. The bases don't change, and then you have the skull portraits so you could do some cool things to tie it to this, and yeah, I think they'd match well.
That's so cool. It's just so awesome. Well, okay, so you've had a chance to kind of look at them a little bit. And we're kind of winding down here. What are your final thoughts here?
I mean, obviously, I think he's incredible, and it's one of these things where I ordered this piece. I think it was January of 19 was when we first ordered these, and so much anticipation after getting deeper into the stories and understanding the character. I mean, just thought he was cool from the get, and then to kind of get a better appreciation for him as a character, awesome. And it just led to more and more anticipation of the piece. And you look at the photos and all the Prime 1 shots, and you say, wow, it just looks incredible. And you just hope you're not setting yourself up for disappointment. I am not disappointed at all. The piece is phenomenal. Everything that Prime 1 does well, it's almost like they did everything they do well, they did in this piece. All the textures, all of the accuracy of the portraits. I don't know what they could have done better. One of the things that made me nervous, I'll be honest, is a few people talking about, like we said at the outset of this segment, the sheen on the base.
Yep.
No, not at all. I think you're right. It's like a patinaed, silver plate almost kind of effect.
It's so weird how, like, I'm looking at your camera right now and it looks shiny. And then I'm looking at mine. It's just not like it's weird. I don't know why it does that. And that I just kind of want to tell everybody that's watching again, like, so many people, when they see photos of things, they immediately start being negative about certain things.
Yep.
Folks, I'm here to tell you, I've done this long enough to know, and a lot of you guys know this too, but until you get a statue in hand, so many things, I'm amazed by how many of my statues do not photograph well. And I have a good camera. I've got a good phone, and I'm like, but it depends on lighting. And it just, sometimes the camera just will not ever capture what it looks like in person. And it's, I just always want to remind collectors of that before you trash a piece and say, well, I'll never buy that because it's got a shiny base, look at reviews, listen to what collectors have to say. Because I think it's important, because again, me and Dan were both worried about the same thing. And when we got it, we're both impressed.
Exactly. It does not even a little come off as shiny. It'd be the last thing that I would want on the statue. As a matter of fact, I went so far, Chris, when I first started hearing folks make those comments, I thought to myself, because this will never leave my collection. This would be one of the, last one you grab when the house is on fire, or first one you grab when the house is on fire.
Yeah.
It's, I would probably go so far as to take a wash, a cayenne wash or something like that, and touch these up myself. To kind of damp them down if they were shiny, but they're not. I would have no fear of doing that, but there's no need. They look perfect. I love the fact that they are demonized bats. They just look awesome. The stonework looks awesome. I heard someone else comment about the fact that the vines on the base are this deep red. Almost they match the deep red that's on the inside of the collar. I just think it's kind of different. It's just it's almost like there's blood flowing through these, these vines kind of thing. So that doesn't bother me at all.
And they're barely noticeable. Like, people were, I was the same way. Like, I couldn't believe people were nitpicking about that, but it's a freaking base. If you're looking at the base to that level, like, the base should not be the focal point of this statue. But I feel like every little bit adds to it. I mean, could they have done no vines at all? Sure.
No, it adds to it.
It adds to it. And it's neat, because I love that, we talked about if I could put this in my Arkham collection. The thing is that other Arkham pieces have vines like that too. or
Right.
hut pieces. Like everything could be fit together. And I think that's all intentional. It's all very smart. All the bases could be displayed similar in similar areas and look okay and look cohesive. And I love that Prime One's doing that. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, and like I said, the details, the length they went to, it really makes you feel like this is definitely a cornerstone piece that kicks off a line, because just the way that they treated the leather in the suit is so, it's more detailed than I think any Prime One piece, even Freeze. They went down, there are tears in his costume that are, that they've kind of mock stitched up, and you can see the skin through the tears, and there's no bleed of any paint. Everything is to the finest detail. You can see the pores and the fine lines, that his hands are kind of meant to look, I think, gnarled and almost like an elderly person's kind of, texture to their skin. And it just perfect, just perfect.
I want to give a real quick shout out to Matt Collections. So Matt came in. He said, "Hey, statue collector. Okay, I'm here to say what's up and throw a thumbs up for support. I paused the live stream as soon as it loaded. As you know, I try not to watch other reviews of pieces I have coming in myself before I had the chance to form my own opinion. He just wanted to say huge congratulations to you."
Awesome. Thanks, Mac. I don't blame you at all.
Yeah, I don't blame him either. Of course, Mac. That's right. Definitely check out, like I said, he's probably going to be in about a week. Mac Collections over on YouTube. Definitely subscribe. He is a phenomenal guy and a great reviewer, and he's getting this piece as well. So definitely check it out. I can't say enough. I'm just so happy that you got this piece in. I'm glad for both of you guys. Because Jeff Morris also says, "Hey, I truly love this Batman Who Laughs. It's definitely the definitive representation of the character." And I know that Jeff has been thinking about getting this piece. So no pressure, Jeff, but it's a phenomenal piece.
We will push him to the dark side. I know he doesn't want to do 1/3, but really, Jeff, look.
Yeah. If you're going to be a rogues gallery, you got to own this statue. So that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
So anything else you want to say? Well, go ahead.
I think Jeff Delaney even talked about potentially getting this piece.
He did.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's just, guys, I can't tell you enough. It's like, if you are a fan of villains or if you're a fan of Batman, this is a piece that I think that could undoubtedly be in your collection and be a centerpiece of your collection. Dan, I'll let you have the final thoughts on this piece.
Yeah, well, I guess one thing I'd want to say, guys, I know a lot of people, including myself, have waited a long time for this piece. And I just have to say, you will not be disappointed. Everything, we've talked a lot about the concept. We've talked a lot about the quality, the detail and whatnot. The other piece that we haven't talked about is this is an extremely complex piece in a lot of ways in terms of how these figures are, interacting with each other on the base, on the statue. Everything went together flawlessly. There was not one tight fit. There was not one. There are a couple places where you have to be careful about the sequence in which you do things, but everything fit together perfectly. All of the magnets feel really good and strong. All of the paint app looks flawless to my eye, and I'm pretty critical about those things. You will not be disappointed. So, yeah, A++.
Awesome. Well, you've had a lot of love from the chat tonight. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below if you enjoyed this live unboxing. Like I said, I think this is our first one that we've ever really done on the channel. And so I had a blast. I am so thankful to do this, and I'm so happy for you that you got this statue finally. Finally. But do me a favor, once you get the chains up, would you post some photos of it in the group?
You can get on it. Probably too many.
Well, I'm glad, because I know a lot of collectors would love to see it. I can't get enough of this statue, and I have it right in front of me. And I'm sure you'll be the same. It's just one of those ones where you just every time you come into your office now, you're going to go to that piece and be like, holy crap, this is awesome.
Yep, absolutely. Well, thanks so much, Chris. I really appreciate you going live with me. We had an absolute blast. I hope we do this some more.
Yeah, I want to do this all the time now, because this was a lot of fun. I had a really good time. So
and I appreciate Chris. I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody in the chat. I know I've been doing my Batman Who Waits daily update and everything, and everybody's been really super supportive and great. One of the reasons this is such fun is just the support of the community and how we all support each other. Just fantastic. It's so much fun. That's why I have to do some new daily thing. And like I said, I've got an idea. because it was just too fun engaging with everybody. And so no, I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody.
Well, and I just want to say you've become such a big, giant part of the group and part of this channel, and I can't thank you enough because you've made everything so much better, and I really appreciate you.
Awesome. You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, we're going to wrap it up, guys. We went about an hour and 20 minutes. I can't believe we did that long, but that was a lot of fun. Definitely give this video a like if you enjoyed the content. That does help people just like you find it. So, and it really helps the channel out. So thank you guys very much, and we'll see you guys next time. See you in the back.